Hello class. In this example, we're going to continue where we left off. What I did, I spent some time to further readjust some of my uh, little designs using the combination of the type tool and the touch type tool within Illustrator. So what we're going to do now is for this assignment, you do not need to create three separate ones, though I do have three separate different designs. What I'm going to do is I am going to now start to create different shapes that I want to incorporate my designs in. And I'm also going to start working with layers a little bit more. Notice that I haven't really talked about layers. We still have layers within Illustrator. But the way that I want you to work with layers is you can either work with layers as, even though this is layer 1, each one of these different shapes are paths in here are, yes, they are still making use of layers, but I want you to think of layers as a collection of different shapes, different paths that come together to create your end shape. Like, say for example, what I could do with this one, I could go ahead and create a new layer right here. I have this layer 2. Notice that everything within layer 1 has this blue wireframe. So if I select any one of these different shapes, they have blue. I just created a new one that has a red wireframe. Let's see, I'm going to select this one. Layer wise, I'm going to drop this into layer 2. So now notice that the wireframe has changed. This wireframe is now red. The wireframe only is used to help identify what layer it belongs to. I'm going to go ahead and select this one. I'm going to create a new layer here, and I'm going to drop this one into what is called layer 3. So you notice that each one now has a different wireframe color corresponding to their layer name. I'm going to rename these. Instead of layer 1, I'm going to say uh, maybe, let's see, type logo 1, type logo 2, and type logo 3. I double click on this one so you can see this is another way of being able to change the name. So go type logo 3. But also what you could do, if you want to change the different color for the wireframe, where you can see that it goes through a series of different colors. If you have difficulty seeing one of the colors, or maybe you don't like them, say for example, when it goes to light gray and black, I skip these because these two colors uh, typically kind of, for me, kind of reference either the template or the black is just really harsh and it stands out too much. I'd rather change the color, but I'm going to leave it as it is for right now. There are other options that you could do as well. You could always lock this. You can make it a template, means that you can't change it, but it's still there. I'm going to go ahead and tell this, okay, this is how you lock your layer so that this way you can't select it. It's there, but nothing. You can see with these other ones, I could select them. I could still move them. I'm going to undo, Command or Control Z to move it back. You still have the little eyes, so you can also change the placement. So what I want to do is, let's start off with this one. I want to go ahead and switch to my different shape tools that we created earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take off this shape. If we were in class, I would ask the students to give me a shape. But looking at this one, where it's how it's kind of, I think this one will work good in, say, like a rounded rectangle shape. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and, because my shape or colors that I was using, you can see right here for my stroke and fill, I have these question mark. I'm going to click right here for the default fill and stroke, or you can press D on your keyboard. No, I don't want this one. I want to make sure that it's not selected, so I'm going to go back to my selection tool, just to click, just to deselect it. Now I'm going to go back to my shape, and D for default. Now what I want to do, over this shape, I want to go ahead and create a shape. Now once I place this, a couple things that I want to point out. I did not select the right layer, and once I create it, notice that this one was selected, so it placed it within the wrong layer. I want this one to be placed in, let's see, I want to, into logo type 3. So I could just click and drag this into logo type 3. Okay, this is what I was expecting now. Because layer-wise, this object is now in front of my type, so I can't see it. What I need to do, I need to change the order. I could easily just click and drag the order right here, or another option, if I select it, so I know this one is selected. If I right mouse click, under Arrange, you have 4 options. Bring to front or send to back sends it to the very topmost of the layer or the very bottom. This bring forward or send backward just sends it one layer at a time. So I'm going to just tell it to either send backward or send to back. For right now, it's going to give me the same option. So now we have something that looks like this. So what I want you to do, I'm going to Command or Control plus to zoom in so I could look at this one. Maybe what I want to do with this one is let's change the colors. Maybe do I want black and white? Maybe I want to change my color, my font color, not from black. I can go up here. What if I change this to white? I can't see it unless I switch these around. I'm just going to switch these around by using this little switcheroo, swap the fill and stroke. So now I have something that looks like this. Maybe for the stroke, I don't want white because white is easy to blend in the background. Maybe I want yellow, or I do like blue. Maybe I want this to be a little bit thicker, and I want to change it so that it's on the outside. I'm just going to deselect it. I could always change this. Maybe I want this one a little bit closer right here. Or maybe it's like a... See, if I click on one side, it's only changing one side. If I want to change both of them, if I hold down Option on a Mac or Alt on a PC, it changes both sides. So now I could click this a little bit higher, click this one a little bit lower. Or maybe it's like, what would it look like if I got rid of the blue? I get something that looks like this. I'm fine with this right here. So maybe I just want this. If I want to change how much it rounds off those corners, let's see. I'm going to use my arrow keys, up, down, left, right. I'm just going to move this to the right a bit. You can see what it looks like if it goes right here. Let's see, do I like this? Maybe I do. I'm going to go ahead and drag this in. Maybe I want the A and the F to kind of be cut off. Let's see, a little bit more for that A. So I have something that looks like this. I'll take that. What would it look like if I bring back my stroke value? Let's increase the value. No, I think I like it better without it. So for your examples, I want you to you could either do something like this, where you could see how I put this in a shape with my text. It doesn't have to be white on black. It could be different colors. But because my paper is white and I want these to kind of bleed through, it almost creates like a negative space. I'm going to zoom out. So let's go back to my layers. You can see right in this one, here is one. The good thing is that if I click on this circle to the right of the layer, it selects the entire shape. I'm going to hold down Shift to keep the proportion, so I'm able to scale it. So this is one example. What you could always do, if you want to use the same text demonstration, a little text design, I'm going to duplicate this entire layer, and I'm just going to hide. Well, here, let me select this one here. I'm going to hide the previous one. They're stacked one on top of another. Let me bring back the other one. And on this one, I'm going to hide this shape. Now, before I do that, maybe change the color to my text to black so you could see it. And then within my layers, I'm going to hide that shape. And then within this layer, since this one's already selected, maybe I'm going to place this one within, we'll say an ellipse. And this time I'm going to kind of go somewhere around the center. I'm trying to find where the center is at. See, this is my smart guides. For some reason, it's no problem selecting this one, but it's not allowing me to select this one. I'm going to hold down, I'm going to click right here. I'm going to hold down Shift and Option. Let's see, maybe I just want Option. I'm going to do something like this, but I'm going to change the color. Let's use, say, red, but I want to send it. I'm going to right mouse click on it, Arrange. I'm going to tell it to send to back. So it sends it to the very back. I'm going to Command plus to zoom in, or Control plus. Let me hide my other layers temporarily, just so I could focus on this one. I'm using my selection tool. And right here, I'm just going to adjust using my arrow keys, up, down, left, right. See, I'm going to maybe press this down. I don't want the O to extend, but I don't want, maybe I need to make this shape a little bit larger. Because it's skewed, there's a lot more space on the left than there is on the right, but that's okay. That works better. So let me zoom out. Here, let me change this from red. What is that? Again, I like blue. I like the cyan. Maybe the letters instead of black, instead of using white. Well, we could always check what white looks like. That's white. I kind of like that, but I don't. I wanted something. I want something different. This is yellow. Here it goes. And you know what? Since I have this, let's go ahead and bring back the stroke value. Maybe we will do yellow or orange, a darker orange, and increase the stroke for this one. Let's change this one. I like the stroke be on the outside, but I need to change the color. I'm not satisfied with this one. Now I want there to be contrast, so I'll go with this one. There we go. So you see these are the same logo designs, the same text designs, but a different shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize these. I have these other two. I have this one. I'm going to move this one down. Now you don't have to do 4, you only have to do 3, but I just want to show you different examples of these different shapes. I'm just going to go ahead and create, say for example, this one will use a star. I'm using, let's say I want to, yeah, this shape right here. I want to make sure that this logo is selected. I'm going to go ahead and just create a star. How many points? 4, 5. Yeah, we'll do this one. We'll do 7. I want to try to, there it goes. I want something like this. But for this one, I kind of like the green. I'm going to right mouse click on it to tell it to arrange, send to back. I'm going to change the color. I'll keep the black for the text, but I want a green color for this one. Do I want dark green? Yeah, let's try this. What's this look like? That kind of works. What about if we apply a stroke, yellow? Kinda. It kind of works. Yeah, well, we'll keep it for that one, for that one, and then we just have another one that's very similar to these other ones. Maybe we'll just create a box with this one. So we had a rounded, we have a, oh, you know what? We haven't done a polygon. Polygon. Oh, you know what? This one's going to be sent through the wrong layer. That's okay. because you can see I placed it on this one. It should go onto this one, so I'm just going to drop it into this layer. I'm going to right mouse click on this one to send it to the back. And I want to give me the default. Maybe I want the red and black. Or maybe it's going to be white. On the outside, it's going to be red. I'm using my arrows up, down, left, right. I could extend this if I want it to fit within that shape. Since the black stands out, this kind of works. I could always change. What if I have like a light color on the inside? This is where none of these presets are going to work for me. So maybe I want white, and let's change the actual color. I won't want a pink. That kind of works. But right here, I created 4. You only need to create 3. So I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to hold down Command or Control to switch to my selection tool just to deselect. You can see how just using your type, using the different your type tool, your touch type tool, and just some basic shapes, and changing some of the basic parameters, the properties, the fill, the stroke options for those shapes, you're able to create some really interesting logo designs. And that's what I want you to do. Last thing I'm going to do is save this file. I'm going to go to File, tell it to Save As, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have my right file. I want you to save it with your last name. I'll use mine, followed by your first name, and this is assignment. I believe it is assignment 5. Assignment 5. .ai. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as AI. I'm saving it to my computer locally. I tell it save. I tell it OK, and this file has been saved. And now what you could do is, once you have this done, you could go ahead and submit this file. The things that I want you to make sure is that notice how I made use of my layers. This layer only contains the objects that are used to create this shape. I'm going to go ahead and hide this one. This next layer, again, only has the shapes, the different paths that are used to create that shape, and so on and so forth. So that's how you want to use your layers. I don't want you just to place everything. This one has a little bit too much. I could get rid of this one. I could just click and drag it to the trash can right here. And let me go ahead and bring the other layers back. And here I have 4. You only need to create 3 different text logo examples for this assignment. Let me know if you have any questions. Have fun with this, and I'll see you around soon. Bye.